What the frick?
Okay, this is gonna be difficult.
Does this not have lasers or not?
No, it's boss fight at the end.
Okay.
Okay, so after the maze, the button is on the right side.
First blood!
Sector clear. Roger that. Go, go, go!
Oh, there's heal here, fuck. Oh, the guy... Wait, what? I used wall on us, sorry. Oh shit. Okay, no, I shouldn't use the wall like this.
Oh. You don't take it.
Okay, go left side if you're with me. Yeah, let's go left.
Fuck you!
Team, fall
The way is on the left, it's the bridge. Yeah, everything is fine. Did we get the button?
I'm done. I'm freaking
Okay, we
done.
got the button. Shoot service, shoot service. Actually, I killed the music thing, so... Yeah. I actually could have killed myself too, because I was blocked by the wall. If you're on the other side, just come here to the door. I'm just gonna TP here after the trigger. Okay, just get back the TP on top. Let's get ready to pre-fire.
fire in the hole!
Okay, the one way is gonna open, I think it's right. Okay, just come to the right. Just one guy needs to trigger.
Double kill!
Holy shit. Just one guy go trigger. The rest just stay defense, just stay defense, stay defense. Zombies will be teleported again, so just shoot. Okay, let's shoot, 10 seconds. And then we're gonna go the same way, but on the other side. So if you're like there on the button, just come back. Go straight forward now, straight
Come
forward.
back, guys.
Follow the minimap. Look at the minimap.
And now we're gonna defend here again. Shoot that zombie.
Need backup.
Fucking music. Okay, just cover from here. If you're on the bottom, just come to us now. Okay, back. Okay, now it's gonna be the middle door. Gonna TP there in the middle.
Double kill!
Weedy.
Shoot the door.
Go back,
All
don't shoot.
fits the entire... Oh, shoot right.
Killing spree.
It's open. Just get inside and shoot, get inside and shoot. Shoot.
Don't shoot, go back.
Okay,
back,
everyone
back,
buy
back.
a machine gun now, M249. Yeah, we need machine gun to kill this boss.
Is it last stage?
Yeah,
No.
Oh, okay,
if we
okay.
kill the boss, we win. Basically.
Oh my god, too laggy.
Sluggy.
Yeah.
It's lucky.
Okay, shoot the ball.
My fucking ball.
No, laggy.
Okay, we have
lucky.
boss HP, nice. The boss is a push attack, so be careful. Don't stay too close to it. Nice sleep. Dude, I'm really think he's gonna use push, and we are gonna die. Okay, nice, good RNG, good
Goodbye,
RNG.
guys.
Yeah, the fire is fine. actually. He's already half HP. The boss is a zombie attack, and if he uses zombie attack, the zombies can spawn on any platform. Okay, I don't know what is this shit. Oh, it's the
Zombie
zombie
attack.
Zombie
attack.
attack.
Don't shoot zombie, don't shoot zombie.
Bro, the lag though.
Zombie left,
Can
zombie
teleport
left.
soon.
Zombie right.
What is
Frenzy, I think it's water attack. Yeah, just don't touch the waters on the bottom. It's easy attack, don't worry. Okay, we're lucky we didn't do it. No, don't jinx it, I didn't make it. Okay, zombie attack,
Zombie
you can
attack
spawn
again.
on any platform with shot.
Fuck!
Okay, it's the left side, left side. We are so lucky that they spawned on the left. Rebuys, guys, just kill the boss and the zombie side. Before he uses the push.
Zombie, 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 zombie.
Oh, careful. Nice.
Okay, he's almost dead, but...
Shoot, keep shooting. 3 bites.
Okay, zombie attack again. Okay, watch out, they can spawn... in any... Oh, shit!
Oh, nice stream, nice stream.
Yes.
Shoot. Well played.
Okay, we killed the...
What next?
we killed the boss, just survive. Okay, nice, easy win, I get the wall. Just go to the end, it's just 10 seconds hold and we win.
Nice.
Jesus.
Just go to the end. No laser, just survive.
Fucking wall.
Oh, that guy is actually
Anyways, it's
smart.
good.
GG.
Nice.